I'm sure you've wondered why Sefer Devarim is basically a repetition of everything we know already. It's just like we're repeating everything that we've seen in the last few months in the different Parshas. Why do we need such a repetition? The Ramban asks this question, and the Ramban says a fascinating insight. He says if you go through so many of the mitzvahs that are said in Sefer Devarim, the parasha that we begin this week, you'll notice there's something missing. And that is the mitzvahs that pertain to the Kahanim. Because the mitzvahs that are nogeah to the Kahanim, we've mentioned in Sefer Vayikra. We don't need to repeat them again now. Why? Because Kahanim are zrizim. Kahanim have a certain zealousness. They appreciate, they understand the mitzvahs and the opportunity that comes together with a mitzvah. And therefore, says the Ramban, we don't need to repeat them again now. Whereas the rest of Klal Yisrael may not fully appreciate that mitzvah, that opportunity. And therefore, Sefer Devarim is a repetition to make sure they understand the opportunity that they have. I want to tell you an amazing story. A story that just happened a few weeks ago with two of my incredible Bachrim. There's a man in London, 25 years ago, unfortunately he lost his wife. And he was so upset with the Rabbeinu Shalom that he basically gave up Yiddishkeit. No Shabbos, no Kashrus, no Tefillin, nothing. He was not well, and normally his daughter sleeps in his home to make sure that he's okay on a nightly basis. His daughter herself became not well, and he needed someone to stay in the house with him to make sure that he was okay. He called a close business associate, and he said, have you got any ideas of who can sleep in my house? So the man said, I'll tell you what, great, I have two Bachrim from a yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael, Yeshivas Beis David, who are with me. I'll ask them if they can stay in your home. He asked the boys happily agree, and they stay looking after this old man. At the end of the 2-night stay, the man offers them some money, and he said, I'd like to pay you, here's £100. I'd like to give you something for what you did for me. You stayed in my home, you looked after me, you watched over me, I want to give you something. The boys refused. And they said, actually, we'd like to ask you to do something for us. And he said, what can I do for you? We would like you to put on tefillin, just once. The man thought about it. With tears in his eyes, he said, yes, I'm willing to do it. And instead of giving the £100, he put on tefillin for these boys who asked for that in return. Because they understood the value of a mitzvah. They understood the opportunity that every mitzvah has. This week's parasha, Parshas Devarim, basically always falls right before Tisha B'Av. This year it is Tisha B'Av. The words Eicha Salavadi, as the Vilna Gaon translates it to mean, Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, how can I do this alone? Alone is something we have to think about. We're not alone in the world. We're here to help others. We're here to think about others. We're here to allow other people to do mitzvahs. And as soon as we do that, as soon as we come out of our personal bubble and help others appreciate the value, the simcha, the opportunity of a mitzvah, we'll get Moshiach. We'll have the Geula. Have a wonderful Shabbos.